Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your own custom journaling cards to use in your iPlanner. Now I can take this card and I can resize it and put it anywhere on my planner. And I can also write some text on it. And I'm just writing on my iPad screen with my stylus. So this is my own handwriting. I'm not typing it out. It's not text that I'm pasting in. I'm actually writing, and with the screen protector that I have and the stylus that I use, it feels like I'm writing on paper. So, and it's not very neat, of course, because I'm trying to record and look at my computer screen at the same time that I'm holding my iPad. So it could stand to be a little bit neater. So that's what it looks like, and I can resize that. I can make it as big as I want. I can put it wherever I want on my week at a glance. I could even copy and paste it and move it to another day. I could save it and use it over and over and over again. So let me show you how I made these journaling cards. For those of you that aren't aware of what iDesign is, that's what I'm using, and that's what I use to make my own custom stickers. I make labels, tags, stamps. Another thing I do is I use a font, and I fill my fonts with different craft paper and scrapbook papers, and this is all digital, so none of it is printed out. If you wanted to, you could, but since I am all about being mobile and being paperless, I stay digital. And I can do the same thing with digital and more with the things that I've created to be digital on my iPad. So I use my iDesign very close with my planner because, like I said, I'm making stickers and tags and journaling cards and notepads and sticky notes. I make that all inside Keynote using the shapes that I provided called iDesign. So let me show you what iDesign is, just in case you have not seen this yet. And I'll put some links in the description so that you could look at some other videos that where I've done other things with iDesign. All right, so iDesign comes with a mass amount of shapes. I've actually never counted them, so I don't know how many shapes, but as you can see, there are a lot of shapes. And you're only limited by your imagination. You could pretty much make anything with the shapes that I've provided. And then there's also templates, which I use for mobile project life. And as you can see, there are a lot of project life templates in here. All right, so the shapes that we're going to use for making the journaling cards, and like I said, this comes with iDesign, and I am actually using iDesign, and that's all the shapes that I have created for Keynote. Keynote is presentation software. It's the Mac version or the Apple version of PowerPoint's Microsoft version. But I have found that you can do a lot more with Keynote than just making presentations. And you're going to find that out here in the next few minutes. All right, so on to how to make a custom journaling card. I'm going to use the same shapes that I used with the other journaling cards so you can see how I made those. So in order to do this, I'm going to copy it to another presentation. And the reason that I do that is because I don't want to disturb any of my master shapes that are in here in my iDesign. So I'm going to just tap on the background because there's two shapes here and I want both of them. So I want the background, and then while I am holding the background, I'm going to tap on the shape in front of it. And now the menu automatically pops up, and I'm going to go ahead and copy. And I'm just going to hit undo to put that back how it was because I like my masters to stay exactly how they are when I first opened up iDesign inside Keynote. So now I'm going to go to the presentation that I was making my journaling cards out of, and I'm actually going to name this presentation journaling cards. So that will remind me that that's what it is. Let me show you real quick a couple of my Project Life layouts that I did inside Keynote using iDesign. Here's one that I did back in February, obviously, because it says Sunday, February 28th. This was my granddaughter and my son and daughter-in-law. They were up for the weekend and we all went to our church together. And so this was Isla checking out the Sunday school room. And I only had a couple photos that I flipped off that morning. But what I did was I took just the two photos that I had and I zoomed in on a couple things and it made it look like a totally different photo on my layout. So this is her name and this was the room that she was in and everything. And so we want to remember that. And then the bow that was in her hair. She was so pretty that morning. And then, of course, a picture of the outside of the church. And then I just threw some colors and some patterns in here. She's 4 years old. And it was West Park Baptist Church that we were at. So this will be a memory saved forever and ever because it's digital and it will never fade. It will never get destroyed in a fire or flood or anything like that. I will have this forever. And the fun of it was that I was able to do it on my iPad. I didn't need scissors, glue, tape, stamps, papers. I didn't have to do anything but just tap and fill. So let me just show you this other layout and then we'll get on with making the journaling card. And this was Easter Sunday. And so, of course, I had a picture of everybody dressed up in their Sunday best. And the layout that I used had the 4 small squares here. And I took, obviously, again, this photo and I zoomed in on different things. So here's the hair bow from here. And here is her little puppy that she's holding, and then her shoes, her cute little white patent leather shoes with her lace ruffle socks. And so I just zoomed in on those and put them here in these smaller squares. And of course, here's Mommy and Daddy. And here's Mommy and Isla and Daddy and Isla. So again, I'll have this forever and they'll have it forever and Isla will have it forever because it's digital. And you can make as many copies of it as you want. You can put it online. You can put it on your Facebook. You can put it anywhere. You can print it out and make it an album, but I don't do that because I am not a paper person. I do everything digitally. All right, so now we're gonna for real make this journaling card. So as you can see, these are the two that I've made that I put already on my planner. So to make the new one, I'm just going to open a new page or a new slide. It's actually a slide because remember, Keynote is presentation software. So here's my new slide, and I'm going to go ahead and tap on the screen and paste those two shapes that I copied from iDesign. So now my iDesign stays untouched and in mint condition, and then I'm going to use this shape to fill and make my journaling card. All right, so to do this, first I'm going to go ahead and resize it. So to resize it, I'm going to group it. That way I'm resizing it at the same exact size together, both of them together. And that's big enough for me to work with. When it's real small, I have to keep zooming in. Now I'm going to ungroup it because naturally I have to work on these pieces separately. The first thing I want to do is fill the background. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap the paintbrush and I'm going to make sure that image is selected, and that gives me the option to replace the image with something that's in my camera roll. Now you could have in your camera roll photos, you can have patterned paper, you can have a swatch of fabric, whatever you want to use inside Keynote for your mobile project life and your mobile scrapbooking, you would have inside your camera roll, inside your albums on your Apple camera app or photo app. So I'm going to go to my camera roll, and I actually have most all of the papers that come with the Whimsy kit that is available on Digitally Speaking iStore. And I'm going to make this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this diagonal pink and white stripe. And you see that just filled it just right up. All I did was tap on that image and it fit it right in there. Now if I want to adjust this, I can go ahead and double tap, and that gives me the option to change the size by moving the slider over. So I could make those stripes much bigger. I could also move it around if I want to center it differently. And when I'm happy with my results, I'll just select Done. And now this other shape, I'm not going to fill it because I want it to stay white. However, I do want to add a stroke to it. So again, I'm going to tap the paintbrush, and this time I want to select Style, and I want to go to Style Options. I'm going to turn on borders, and it's already added a border for me. However, this border is not thick enough, so I'm going to go ahead with my finger, and I'm just going to drag the slider over to make that stroke thicker. And I think that looks good. I'm also going to play around with these different types of lines. Oh, I really like how the polka dot looks. And this is a dotted line. And that one's a little bigger, even bigger. And then here is that one. Oh, I like that one. That one I like too. I might just leave that one. That looks a little whimsical. Let me just test this one first. Okay. Oops, I forgot which one I had that I liked. That was it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this one. So this is, I'm finished with this shape actually. So I'm going to just tap away. So I tapped somewhere outside of my design. I want to center it up. I like it to kind of hang halfway off of the page or off of the card. But I still want to make sure that I'm centered horizontally. So to crop this out, because I'm actually hanging off the side of the card, I'll just double tap and I will move and I'm just with my finger, I'm just moving in where I want the window to be spaced. So that's all I did was just tapped and dragged that in. So then I'll say done, and it just cropped that off. Now you can also crop it when you get it over to your planner. So once you put it on your planner page, you can crop it off, and that will leave, or that will eliminate you from having this stroke here on the side. So you have two options there. I actually don't mind having the stroke there, so I'm going to leave it like this. And now I want to put another stroke within this shape. So I'm going to go ahead and copy just by tapping on the shape, brings up my options. I'm going to copy. So now I'm going to tap away from my design. You can't tap inside your design to paste. So I tapped outside of my design. And here I've got a second one ready to go. This will need to be smaller because I'm putting it inside. And I'm going to change the stroke on this one. So I'm going to tap the paintbrush again. I'm going to go to Style Options. And I may need to change the color on this. I think I'm going to go with, I'm testing out some different colors here. I think I'll go ahead and stick with this light pink. That'll work for me. And I'm also going to change the stroke to polka dots. And I want the polka dots to be bigger. So I'm going to slide the width over. And to me, this looks very whimsical. And this is my journaling card. So now I want to put it on my planner. Let's see, I'm going to do one more thing to my journaling card. Because there's some white areas that's going to blend in with the pages of my planner, I'm going to add a drop shadow, which will give it some depth so that when I get it to the planner, it will look. Now I could choose one of these here, but I actually have a favorite. So I'm going to choose Effects. I'm going to turn on Drop Shadow. And as you can see, it already has a subtle drop shadow. Now I can give it more of a shadow. And I encourage you just to test all these out to see which ones you like. I think I like that one. That one kind of curves it a little bit. So see how it curves inward here. And then this one right here pushes the shadow down and to the right. So it leaves some white space up here. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I think my best option is this effect right here. So that looks good. It looks very whimsical to me. I can't wait to get it over to my planner. So to get it over to the planner, I have to select all three. So remember, I've got my journaling card, and then I've got this background shape, and then I've got this shape that I added inside that shape. So I've got three pieces, and I need to tap all three of them to have all of them selected at once. So I'm going to tap the background and hold it, tap the shape, the background shape, and then the shape that's in the center. So now you can see they're all selected. The option to group it, or the menu, it automatically pops up once they're all selected. So I'm going to tap group. And I actually could have just tapped copy, even though they weren't grouped, because they will be grouped when you get them over to the iPlanner. They don't stay separate once you get them over there. So let me say copy. And then I'm just going to real quickly tap my home button, select my planner, And I'm just anywhere on the screen. I'm going to press and hold and tap paste. And there's my journaling card, and I can resize it. And like I said earlier, if I wanted to leave the rest of this shape hanging off so that I could just cut it off without having the stroke of the dots or the line here, all I would have done was, let me add a new one, tap and hold, paste, and while it's still selected, I'll tap and choose crop, and then I would have just cropped it off just like this, just by dragging this over with my finger. So it's up to you how you want it to look. You can let it have the stroke. If you want to get rid of the stroke, then you'll have to crop out that, and then it'll be just a blank edge, which I think that effect would be kind of pretty too. And then I'm going to say done. And I could actually get rid of this one. I don't need two of them on here. So here is my journaling card. And I can resize it as big as I want. I can use it separately on a blank piece of paper or on another planner sheet or in another notebook. It doesn't necessarily have to be in my planner. And I'm going to also save this to my planner, like I've saved so many, because I like to reuse my notes and my stickers and things that I create inside iDesign. I'll show you some more things that I created. I made all of these inside iDesign. And here, if I zoom in real close, you can see that this has a stroke and a drop shadow. And all it was is one of the shapes that comes with iDesign. iDesign also comes with several different styles of tabs and flowers and brackets. And like I said, you're only limited to your own imagination. You can pretty much make anything just by tapping and filling. So now I want to add that journaling card to my planner. So I'll just put it in here. I should probably make a separate sheet for it and bookmark it. But for now, since I just have the one, I'm just going to put it there. I think I'm going to use this in my Bible as well. I think that would be really cute inside my Bible to write out a scripture or something. And that's how I use iDesign for journaling cards with my planner. Stay tuned for upcoming videos about the iPlanner and iDesign. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.